Hey there, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're having a blessed day. My name's Pastor Greg. This is Transforming the World, and the topic this week is flexibility. And I know flexibility has several different meanings. The one meaning is being able to bend without breaking. The older you get, the less flexible you get physically. At least some of us do. Um, my arthritis that I deal with kind of keeps me from being as flexible as I used to be. But I'm going through physical therapy, as I said yesterday, that's trying to get things limbered up a little bit, so I'm not quite so stiff-necked. That's what the doctor said. Man, you're really stiff-necked. It's like, don't say that, because I'm a pastor, and that has biblical connotations there. That's one of the things that God used to say about the people of Israel. You people are so stiff-necked, so Dr. Mike, don't lump me in with the people of Old Testament Israel. Anyway, am I attached to anything that is only temporary? Is one of the questions here in the self-evaluation section. Is there anything I have which, if I lost today, would bring me great discomfort? So, attachment to physical things. That's sort of the topic of flexibility today on Transforming the World. I'm Pastor Greg, and I'll be back in just a moment. There's a really fascinating story in the Gospel of Mark that has intrigued people for a long, long time as they have read it. According to Mark chapter 16 through 18, Jesus is hanging around with Simon, later known as Peter, hanging around with Simon and his brother Andrew. He's there to see Galilee. They're fishing, and Jesus is kind of hanging around with them. He does a miracle, and Peter is really impressed. Simon's really impressed, and Jesus turns to him and says, if you follow me, I will make you fishers of men. And according to the narrative, Peter and Andrew, or Simon and Andrew, drop their nets, literally, and follow Christ. And it seems a bit odd because, that's their livelihood. That was their income. And, of course, a little bit later on, you find out that James and John do the exact same thing. Their dad, Zebedee, standing in the boat going, wait, boys, where are you going? We've got these fish to unload. Individuals who said following Christ is more important than the physical things in this world. And you have these first apostles ending up doing that. They had met Christ. They had met Christ prior to that. John and Andrew happened to be down in Bethany beyond the Jordan. We read this in John's Gospel, John chapter 2. And that's when John the Baptist points to Christ. And so John and Andrew spent some time, John the disciple, they spent some time with Jesus to find out what he's all about. And they go back up to Galilee, and they start telling everybody, it says, like, look, we found this guy. You've got to come and meet him. He's probably Messiah. So on the day that Christ then, they're in around Galilee, and he says, I'm about ready to start my ministry. You guys want to come along? They said, absolutely. They let go of the things that this world tells you to hold on to. That's a demonstration of flexibility, where you value the spiritual a whole lot more than you value the physical. That's the mark of a mature Christian who says that that obedience to Christ is more important than anything else. And to the world, it might look like we're nuts, but we've got our eyes fixed on the eternal, not the temporary things of this world. Um, I said yesterday that my first full-time pastorate was in Iowa. I'd left Pennsylvania to go serve in Iowa, and what you may not know is the house where we were living. It was the four of us, me, my wife, and the two daughters. I had just finished building this phenomenal garage. It was 24 by 32 with a loft above. It had a wraparound porch. I mean, it was awesome. Awesome garage. I built it. I didn't pay somebody to build it. I built it with the labor of my own hands. And the people that I knew are just like, seriously, you're selling that and moving to Iowa after you just built that garage? And, my comment was, yeah, because that's temporary. There will come a day when that garage will crumble. Don't say it. I know you're thinking it. It'll crumble faster because I built it, but that's not true. It's been there for 24 years and it's still standing just fine, so don't get snarky on me, okay? But the realization and the realization was it's temporary. But I was called to serve the Lord, and I dropped my nets, if you will, and followed. That's flexibility. That's because when Christ says come, we come. When he says go, we go. When he says follow, we follow. And the mark of a Christian, a mature Christian, is someone who says, I will go where you send me, Lord, and I will do as you call me to do. So flexibility. Yes, that's a demonstration of flexibility. We see it there in the first apostles. I was surprised. I surprised myself that I was able to let go of the garage. But again, I think that's where we need to be as we mature in our life as a Christian. We'll continue to talk about flexibility tomorrow on Transforming the World. I'm Pastor Greg. I'll talk to you then.